Our opening contest is a women's match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Richmond, Virginia, Hebner.
Hi, I am Jason Heat, alongside the manager of champions, Neil Sharkey, as Virginia Championship Wrestling presents Matinee Mayhem, coming to you from Old Dominion University.
ODU, home of the Fighting Monarchs, and there's going to be a lot of fighting going on here tonight. We're kicking it off with the ladies' match. Two young ladies, both from the city of Richmond, trying to see who's the better woman.
Yeah, not only the home of ODU, but the home of the Hebner family. Katie Hebner making her VCW wrestling debut.
From Richmond, Virginia, the big gal, Leigh.
In a fairly short time, Erica Leigh has become the face of women's wrestling in VCW and in the region.
She has indeed. She's well traveled. She's traveled all over the country. She's had dapper this morning, I suppose you would say.
And as these two incredibly strong and powerful women begin to take combat, I do want to take a moment to dedicate this match to another impressive young woman named Celeste Perry, who unfortunately passed away after a fight with reducing body myopathy just yesterday. I know that she is the kind of person who would have been inspired by the women who take part in the wrestling ring, like Erica and Katie, and I just want to dedicate this match to her in her memory.
Our condolences to her and her family.
So far, Erica Leigh seems to be winning the pose-off, but now the lockup takes place. An incredible size advantage by the big gal, Erica Leigh.
Let's see what happens here in the corner. A clean break.
In so many ways, Katie Hebner is using this opportunity to take her first step out of the shadow of her famous family. Her father, of course, the legendary referee Earl Hebner, and a quick stack on Erica Leigh.
Nice job there by Katie on the roll-up. Almost had a quick win.
This is Katie's first match back after a long layoff due to a very severe back injury. She actually broke her back. You see the pain etched in her face every time she lands.
You wonder if maybe she came back a little too early. She looks like she's in a lot of pain there from that shoulder tap.
There is no full recovery from an injury like that. There's working through it, there's working around it. We're gonna see just how much Erica Leigh may be aware of that injury and how much she might target it. Wait a second!
Wait a minute, what was that?
Our referee is wait! Katie's bloodline taking over, her referee training really leading her in the charge.
Oh, wait a minute. We've got some chicanery going on here.
Seems to be a lot of role reversals right now, and Katie Hebner having the wherewithal to try and take advantage of the situation.
Certainly wouldn't put it past Hebner to pass a few bucks along the way to a referee to Oh my, but that'll certainly slow down the momentum there.
The big boot to Katie Hebner is, in some ways you would assume that perhaps there should have been a disqualification at this point, given that Erica Leigh has been struck multiple times by her own official.
He can't
disqualify himself.
She's a confident athlete. She's not going to let something like that stop her from winning her matches.
Erica Leigh also recently returned from a very significant injury, so the question is whether or not she's going to have sympathy for Katie Hebner and approach this in a sportsmanlike contest, or will she target that injury knowing just how weak and potentially vulnerable that part of the body is on Katie Hebner.
She should know by now, in her experiences on the road, you don't give anybody a break. You don't give anybody a chance to get back up. You have to strike while the iron is hot. Let's see if she does what I think she'll do and do the right thing and attack, attack, attack.
Well, the big gal showcasing that power, lifting Katie Hebner with seeming ease, but Katie able to slip out the back door, and now Hebner with a full steam ahead.
She's very confident. Oh, nobody home there.
Erica Leigh has faced the best that this region has to offer, maybe perhaps getting overconfident as we see yet again another high stack by Hebner.
May have been a little bit of a fast count there by the referee. Something just seems a little bit off with the relationship there between wrestler and referee.
You are the manager of champions. When you're looking at a match like this, you are scouting talent. What are you looking for aside from impressive moves like that Samoan drop?
That certainly does count. But we're looking for the complete package.
As Erica Leigh looking to put Katie Hebner away.
Erica certainly checks off all the boxes. She's got speed, she's got quickness, she's got power, she's confident.
It's so difficult.
It's just a matter of time.
It can be very difficult for young wrestlers who are second or third generation to live up to the legacies of their family, and the Hebners, of course, cast such an impressive shadow. How much do you think that gets in the head of a competitor like Katie Hebner in a match like this?
You know, every time she steps in the ring, she's thinking she's representing that family heritage, and she wants to do that family proud.
That's just in general in a wrestling ring, but particularly here in our hometown, the hometown of the Hebners. And fantastic counter by Katie Hebner, who is taking it to Leigh.
Didn't get all of it on the Bulldog, but enough to stun Erica.
Tried to roll into a more secure cover after first just almost draping across Erica's body.
Makes you wonder if she had hit that full force, if she would have had the wherewithal to do a full cover, hook the leg properly, and may have gotten the W there.
And now looking for a submission. A version of the Rings of Saturn applied to Erica. Erica will have to try and use that range of her legs to get to the bottom rope and break the submission. Can she do it? Can she do it? She is moments away. She's just inches.
So close to getting out of that painful hold.
This is the most danger Erica Leigh has been in, and she does get her foot on the rope, forcing the break.
Smart move by Erica, trying to get away from Katie, get her some much needed time.
An advantage a competitor like Katie Hebner has, growing up in a family of referees, referee experience herself. She knows all of the rules. She is so well versed in the technicalities of professional wrestling, and she seems to be constantly trying to use the referee advantage. Big spear by the big gal, center of the ring.
Three, and
this
that's it.
one is over.
Nice win for Erica Leigh.
Katie Hebner was game. Katie Hebner put up a fight, but the ring rust may have gotten to her. That layoff, not just the injury, but the time it took for her to get her body back up in terms of cardio, that all certainly worked in the favor of Erica Leigh.
You notice Katie tried on more than one occasion to use the referee to her advantage. Certainly a connection there, as well as she knows how to work the officials. But that last time did not work in her favor. Erica Leigh picks up the deuce here in our opening contest in Matinee Mayhem.
Jason Heat alongside Neil Sharkey as Matinee Mayhem continues here at Old Dominion University, and we have tag team action up on the way.
Well, I know a thing or two about managing tag teams. Haven't seen these two much in action in VCW, but I am looking forward to showing what they bring to the table.
The Obarian and Kodama, the Batiri, the Blood Island Butchers have been mercenaries here in the past. They have been on the payroll of our Director of Operations, Jerry Stefanitsis, and the reason, but here we're about to see the two of them basically as freelance on their own reconnaissance in the tag team division.
They look very intimidating with the makeup. You can tell they're a very physical team just by looking at them. You can tell they go to the gym, they work out. They look like two people that would be willing to hurt somebody.
They love to hurt people. They are lightning quick and aggressive.
And their opponents from the Carolinas, weighing in at a combined weight of 365 pounds. The nicest guy in town, Chase Riser, the Pitbull, Mason Myles, the King's Gate.
The King's Gate are making their debut here in VCW. Mason Myles and Chance Riser represent a brotherhood. They said they live by a code. They each bring something different to the table. They lift each other up and they make each other whole. They're looking to overcome an incredibly difficult obstacle in the Batiri to get a victory in their debut.
That's absolutely right. They're a long way from contending and becoming #1 contenders for the VCW Tag Team Champions, the Golden Pinky Society. But as they say, when you're big star bound, it's a long, hard ride. Let's see if they're ready for that ride.
There's going to be Mason Myles in the green and black with the long tights. The nicest guy in town, Chance Riser, with the gold and black trunks. This will be our very first time seeing them here in a VCW ring. And
I don't know, maybe Chance Riser might want to change his opinion because nice guys sometimes do not last very long in this business.
he is looking to challenge the stereotypes and say that you can be a nice guy and you can finish last in the best way possible, in the sense that you are the one having your hands raised in victory.
Well, I will politely disagree on that. I think nice guys are the people you see on the street corners asking for change.
Absolutely nothing nice about the Batiri. They are rabid, vicious, vindictive, and tag team veterans. These two have been on the scene a long time, and they absolutely love to play the role of gatekeeper. Nothing makes the Batiri happier than keeping young talent from achieving their dreams in professional wrestling.
Well, if they have the okay from Jerry Stefanitsis, then they have the okay from me.
The tag team action is now underway. That is Chance Riser representing the King's Gate, the nicest guy in town, offering a handshake.
I don't think that handshake is going to be accepted with much further, if you know what I mean.
That is Kodama currently representing the Batiri. On the outside is Obarian, and I would not extend my hand to Kodama unless I wanted my hand to get eaten.
Oh, there you go.
Chance Riser taking the early advantage, almost surprising.
They're
Kodama
young,
here.
they're new, they have something to prove. You best believe they're going to bring their A game here tonight.
And now Obarian giving some advice from the corner. The experience advantage absolutely goes to the Batiri. King's Gate still making their way up the ranks of professional wrestling. This is their first time wrestling in the state of Virginia. And now it's Kodama offering the handshake.
He seems sincere enough. Look at that big smile.
And from our view, he did not have his fingers crossed behind his back,
No,
so this could
sir.
be real legit. He might be nice, but he is no dummy. Chance Riser has picked up on what the Batiri are putting down.
If he's a nice guy, he'll let him go, and we can have a one-on-one wrestling.
Well,
of course not.
Well, he did let him down, but then he grabbed a headlock. That is a perfectly acceptable move in a wrestling ring.
I don't know. That might have been a little choke in there on that headlock. Did you see a thumb in the throat, maybe?
I didn't. I saw a fantastic headlock followed by an atomic drop, and now great tag team strategy, bringing his partner, the Pitbull Mason Myles. We're going to see a different kind of intensity from Myles.
So far, so good for Myles. Let's see if they can keep up the momentum here. Good team is going to continue to switch in and out with tags frequently. Let's see if they can do that.
The code that the King's Gate live by means that they each bring something different to the table. And in the case of Mason Myles, that is going to be anger. This man is fueled by rage, but rather than let it control him, he controls it.
Oh! Devastating shoulder tackle. There's lots of intensity and fury in there.
Kodama is so powerful. Both he and Marion are fighters from birth. Does not matter the size or the strength. Incredible by Mason Myles, who flipped inside out to take down Kodama with that tiaras.
Nicely done. I like that he didn't just celebrate and pander to the fans after the move. He went right on top of him. Smart move by this young team.
And that knee strike is actually
me so far.
Very reminiscent of the offense of the Batiri.
They definitely did their homework. There's no doubt about it.
Not even a full one count there, unfortunately. And now the Batiri just rolled out without a tag being made.
I don't know. You might want to clean your monitor. I didn't see that.
That was a switch. That was an illegal switch, and it's a decoy. It's a feint. Oh! Skull bronzing applied right to the nicest guy in town, who's also the most unconscious.
Got to give credit to that young man just for being able to kick out.
And the Batiri doing what they do best, imposing their will, muscling Chance Riser over to their corner.
Nice little Greco-Roman elbow to the eye there.
The Batiri are known for their head games, their intimidation. You see the look that they bring. There are rumors circling the Batiri, satanic rituals, deals with the devil, and just knocking Chance Riser into next week.
Dealings with the devil are usually my attorney, but we won't talk about that.
And Chance Riser attempted to make the tag, but the Batiri had set him up, pulling his partner, Mason Myles, from the apron, and now the shoulder was up. Great officiating.
No call by the official. Shoulders were up.
And the Batiri really working the King's Gate. They successfully managed to keep Chance Riser in the ring long past the point that he has been trying to make a tag.
That's good tag team wrestling. Keep him on their side of the ring. Wear him down. Don't let him get that tag.
What the Batiri are doing
on the hurt man
so impressively is orchestrating the attention of the referee exactly where they want it to be whenever they want it.
Again, another good tag team strategy there. The official bites, then take advantage.
Barbarian bringing it to Chance. You see how he made sure that even without Kodama on the apron, they are keeping the member of King's Gate in their corner, leaving him vulnerable. It's only across the ring, but it meant it will be halfway across the world at this point to get to make that tag.
That is Tag Team Wrestling 101. You go back to the days of Gene and Ole Anderson in the 1970s. They were specialists in cutting the ring in half and concentrating on one body part and one wrestler, wearing him down until he can no longer participate.
The pit bull is starting to get rabbiting outside. That's exactly what we expected to see. Biting the hand of Riser.
So this isn't tiddlywinks. You do what you need to do to gain victories. That's what I say. Plus, they want to continue to impress Jerry Stephanie.
The Batiri have no limits to the violence. They are willing to go. They will do anything, and that includes bending, even breaking the rules that we have seen many times in this match. How much more punishment can Chance Riser take before his body simply gives up on him?
You're seeing over the course of the last few minutes, his body is starting to wear down. He's starting to move slower. He's weakening.
Tag made.
Another tag, fresh man in.
Kodama in the ring.
Smart wrestling. Very impressed with this team.
But Chance Riser has managed to turn it around. This is the first opportunity he's had for a tag.
Can he do it?
And this time, Mason Myles was ready for it.
No.
The Pitbull is in and ready to rule the yard. Mason Myles dominating now. He is the freshest man in this match by far, grabbing and holding on to that headlock. Taking down both members of the Batiri single-handedly, Neil.
He was in that corner just frothing at the mouth. Now that he's in, he's ready to do some heavy-duty damage, and that's just what he's doing. Oh, beautiful move.
Literally
Gotta
stepping
capitalize.
over his opponent.
Oh, was that 3?
No, it was 2.
It was like 2 9/10. Nearly had an upset here.
Even with having tagged in Mason Myles, we see the Batiri able to turn the corner. They'll break or bend every rule. This is effectively a 2-on-1 situation until Chance Riser has an opportunity to recover. Riser up on the top, looked to be trying to help, and that backfired. Tandem offense, high impact, thrash style by the Batiri.
Up and over you go.
This has not been a fantastic evening for Chance Riser. And the Batiri just sent King's Gate to the 7th circle.
That's all she wrote.
At every moment, the Batiri were orchestrating this match like a conductor. The referee would be looking one way, a Batiri would be in the corner, pulling someone from the ring. The referee would be looking another way. There would be an eye poke. They are masters of misdirection. They capture your attention, and they just capture the win.
At the end of the day, it was the experience that paid off. We had a brand new team ready to go, wanting to make an impact here in VCW, but at the end of the day, it was the tag team experience and the togetherness that paid dividends.
The Batiri get the win here in VCW Matinee Mayhem. Jason Heat here alongside Neil Sharkey as we await the entrance of the Greek god Papadon, the former United States Liberty champion. And if you thought this man was angry before, he is absolutely unhinged and on a tear now.
Papadon is a veteran of the squared circle, 20+ years. He knows his way around the ring like the back of his hand.
Regrets.
He's angry, he's mean, he's willing to do anything, and I do mean anything, to get back into title contention.
Yeah, regrets and apologies to anyone unfortunate enough to cross this man's path backstage, let alone in the ring. And we're gonna find out exactly what this Trials of Olympus Open Challenge means. Papadon, one never short of words, and I'm sure he will have a lot to share with us to explain exactly Papadon taking issue with his introduction.
That is self-explanatory.
I said silence!
Papadon not shy with notes either, demanding that he be reintroduced.
I said silence!
It's a rather rude crowd in Norfolk.
Introducing the greatest wrestler alive!
That's better.
The Greek God, Papadon!
Much, much better.
Did a lot of research trying to figure out exactly what god of what Papadon is, and I think it's the god of hyperbole.
I think he's the god of whatever he wants to be. I'm not going to tell him different.
Silence! Before I was rudely interrupted by the Virginian wrestling fans, I want each and everyone out there to know that tonight is a historic, monumental event. Silence! You four-eyed geek! The first ever trials of Olympus. It's going to be stupendous, tremendous, spectacular, amazing. Unlike you fans over here, and unlike this school that I'm in, we should have had this in North Fork State University or real college. They would have got my entrance music right on the first try, so I don't want to hear it. So sit down and all you guys just be quiet, let me finish. So that's the array of talent in the back. Whether it's the World Heavyweight Champion Boar, whether I said silence! Whether it's Boar, whether it's the new fake U.S. Liberty champion, because I am the real British U.S. Liberty champion of all time, whether it's that fool, Bill Brown, none of them are smart enough or great enough to accept my challenge. But I decided to take a step back and give them the olive branch and see who will accept my challenge. So please, enlighten these Virginian wrestling fans, and let's see who has the testicular fortitude to step in the ring with the ring general, the alpha and omega of pro wrestling.
I normally like GGP, but I think you better be very careful about calling out someone like the Hoss of Hosses.
That's absolutely right. He just called your client, Devantes, the reigning and defending U.S. Liberty champion, a fake champion. Care to respond?
I'm going to take this as the heat of the moment and that he really didn't mean that. We'll talk about this at another time, I'm sure.
Irvin Legend is the man to answer the challenge, making his return to VCW after many months away. What an impression Irvin Legend can make if he unseats, well, if he upsets the Greek god Papadon in his own open challenge.
Irvin Legend is really starting to make some moves on the wrestling scene here lately. I think this is a smart idea for him to answer this challenge. He had been struggling in VCW. He went away for a little bit, established himself elsewhere, and now is back to make a statement.
This challenge was open to anyone in the VCW locker room, but it was Irvin Legend. We're going to hear from the Greek god Papadon.
Who are you? And what are you doing What's your name? It doesn't matter what your name is, as cliche as that line is, because now, sunshine, I'm gonna hurt you and hurt you back. So, referee, ring announce, go be Taylor, get your bump over here, take the stick.
Irvin Legend was the man to answer this challenge. The Greek god Papadon claiming he doesn't know who Legend is, doesn't know his name. His name's right on his trunks.
Good point there. GGP seems to be letting the fans in Norfolk, Virginia get under his skin a bit. I think he needs to concentrate on the action in the ring.
He's completely unhinged. He's off his rocker, losing that U.S. Liberty title to Dirty Money. Absolutely set Papadon off.
You got to admit, though, this is a very rude crowd here.
They're delightful, they are polite, and they are responding to Papadon in kind. You get what you give, you receive what you get.
But it's a college town. You think they would have the intelligence to listen to GGP when he tells them to be silent.
And Papadon attacking from behind, and we have gotten started here. The Trials of Olympus Open Challenge.
Cardinal mistake by Irvin Legend. You never turn your back on your opponent, especially somebody like Papadon.
So first time seeing Irvin Legend in a VCW ring since he sort of went on an excursion to find himself. What are your first thoughts seeing Irvin Legend in action once again?
Well, early on, he's been able to withstand that early on slot. Took him down with a few arm drags. He's looking mighty good here in the early stages.
Irvin Legend known for his confidence, sometimes borders on arrogance, but no one can match the confidence or arrogance or egocentricity or narcissism of the Greek god Papadon. Sometimes that works to Papadon's advantage, and sometimes it can be a real Achilles heel.
It was certainly not without egos in this match, that's for sure. One man is just as confident as the other that he's the best.
It does take an ego to be successful in the sport of professional wrestling. That is something these two men have in abundance. Now, Irvin Legend has put the Greek god Papadon on the defensive.
Let's see what he has in store for him here. Oh, nice move by Papadon.
Using the architecture of the ring to his advantage, and Papadon literally caught Irvin Legend in that ring apron. Papadon so dangerous, willing to use anything to his advantage.
Referee warning them to get back in the ring.
Papadon rolling Irvin Legend in. A very prideful man. Now calling to make Irvin Legend smile in the most painful way possible.
Crossface of those big meaty arms. Now he's just wanting to humiliate Irvin Legend a little bit for having the audacity to actually answer his challenge.
The top shot of the King of Sting, Irvin Legend. There's only a 5 count here. Papadon could risk disqualification. And Papadon making it very clear he is very aware of the rules.
Using a little referee intimidation. Can't say that I blame him for that.
Watching the face of Irvin Legend, watching that smile that he imposed onto Legend right off of his face. And yet again, using every aspect of the ring. The apron, the ropes, the turnbuckle to his advantage is Papadon.
Just a smart veteran of the ring right here. It's well in control.
And a 2 count with a cover that did not apply any pressure to the lower body. No force to resist that hip on the kick out. Again, that's an example. There can be a fine line between confidence and overconfidence and arrogance, and Papadon walks that line, then jumps right over it and keeps running.
Well, you notice he's still talking to the referee, trying to get into that head of the official, trying to intimidate him. That may make the difference between a 3 count and being able to dish out more punishment.
Irvin Legend struggling to get a breath. Just trying to get oxygen in order to fight out of the vice-like grip of Papadon. Dropping Legend right on his head and neck, and that could be absolutely disastrous for the top shot here at this point.
Up.
Yet again, this has moments. This match has been full of moments where Papadon could have potentially been in control and let his ego go unchecked.
It's obvious he feels like he can beat him anytime he wants. He's just going to have a little fun and toy with him a little bit. But Irvin's fighting back, the competitor that he is.
Papadon is giving Irvin Legend opportunities to come back, and those are opportunities that Irvin Legend is going to take advantage of.
Go into the eyes. You can't see, you can't fight.
Now Papadon, that exchange may have really gotten him calling for an attempted count out, but Irvin Legend's already on the apron, suckering Legend in.
Clubbing blows.
Eating Irvin Legend up out there on the apron. That draping DDT may have put him to sleep.
That might be all she wrote right there.
Papadon with that leg hooked.
And he's done. Impressive win for Papadon.
In an open challenge, the challenger often has the advantage. They have known who they are going up against. They can study the tape, they can get ready, they can train with specificity. It puts the person making the challenge on the defense. But in this case, it wasn't enough. Papadon with a decisive and authoritative victory over Irvin Legend, a man he didn't even know he was wrestling until he was walking down the ring.
Well, I gotta tell you, I didn't like that comment earlier about Devantes being a fake champion, but it's very obvious he's one of the people on our long list of contenders that we have to reckon with.
Papadon is aiming to become the U.S. Liberty Champion once again, and he is not done with Irvin Legend. This is completely unnecessary. The match is over, and he is getting into it with our official. Papadon may actually be docked the pay that he would get by winning the match.
Definitely sending a message out to anybody and everybody in VCW.
And I don't think one official is enough, because Papadon has a chair and he is rolling it into the ring. We need help out here. Irvin Legend is prone on the ground, and Papadon has ill intent with that chair.
We may not see Irvin Legend. Oh,
wait a second!
Out goes the ref. That's gonna cost him some money. There's a fine right there.
We're waiting on more officials to get out here, and Papadon may break Irvin Legend's neck. We need support, we need help, and there's the platinum icon, Phil Brown.
What's Phil doing out here? He's certainly not a friends with Irvin Legend.
Irvin Legend doesn't have many friends, but at times, Phil Brown did see Legend as someone with a lot of potential. Maybe a potential mentee. But at the end of the day, Phil Brown is just a decent human being, Neil. We're all aware you're not someone who hangs out with people with those kind of morals very often, but Phil Brown, when he sees someone on the attack unnecessarily, he's gonna come out and try and do the right thing. You've heard of the right thing, right?
Never heard of it, never want to hear of it.
God, boy.
All I know is that Phil may be biting off more than he can chew, coming to the rescue of someone that doesn't even like him, and now he's got GGP's
We're gonna hear directly from the man
right
himself.
I'll tell you what. Good match. Good fight. Always. But I like to run it back on me. Nah, my defense is not with him.
What it is tonight is we got a hot crowd here tonight. We have another show coming up at 7 p.m. But I can see one about to pop off for a second. Yo, homie, check me out. My homeboy right here, Leigh, said, why don't we run it back tonight for a second show?
Brown wasn't even supposed to be here tonight.
Phil Brown is not scheduled for a match, but Phil had challenged Papadon for a match tonight. We have a second event coming up this evening.
See, the thing about me and professional wrestling is I don't have to have a wrestling gear to fight. I can come just as it is. Let's do it.
But Papadon says, let's not wait, let's do it right now.
I like it. Let's hook him up.
Phil Brown not even in his gear, wearing sneakers. Says he doesn't need to be ready, he's always ready.
I'd like to see Papadon use that chair on Phil. You take him out.
All right, I think we're seeing, wait a
Is
second.
this official?
Papadon walking away.
Oh, okay.
I accept your challenge. I don't care how big, how tough, how good you are. I am that much better. But these peons will have to pay admission again to see me wrestle. I earned a beat. Tonight, you and I, you're done. You think you're backward last time? I'm gonna break you in half tonight, sunshine. So be ready. Be ready.
Mind games by Papadon there. He's going to make Phil Brown wait, think about it a little bit. Like I said, the Platinum Icon may have bitten off more than he could chew by sticking his nose in his business.
And we now know that this evening, our second engagement at Ultimate University, it will be Phil Brown taking on the Greek god Papadon, as Phil Brown trying to give some wisdom, some words of encouragement to Irvin Legend. These two have had a long history. Irvin Legend has been very receptive to being guided and molded by the Platinum Icon Phil Brown. Has that finally changed? Is Irvin Legend about to learn that maybe he can learn from other people? And Legend does not reciprocate.
He is still a little wary of Phil Brown's advice.
Fight together or fight alone. Phil Brown is always ready to fight. He is going to fight against Papadon coming up this very evening.
Our next contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, he hails from a gay community, inside a gay community, surrounded by a gay community. He's in Breaux, Virginia, weighing in at 205 pounds. The champion of the 1%, Logan, Easton, Laroux.
Manhattan Mayhem continues here with Jason Heat and Neil Sharkey as the former Virginia heavyweight champion Logan Easton Laroux makes his way to the ring.
I am so impressed with this young man. I remember him from his rookie year, and to where he started and seeing where he is now, I can't be more proud of him. He is a superstar on the rise. Again, he's well traveled, been on national TV. He's a former Virginia heavyweight champion. Don't be surprised if that belt goes back on his waist again sometime in the very near future.
Logan Easton Laroux, the champion of the 1%, the venture grappleist, the prince of the privileged, entitlement personified. But if there's one thing in the world that Logan Easton Laroux does work for, it is professional wrestling. The man trains, the man is impressive.
And his opponent, from Hawkins, Maryland, weighing at 194 pounds. You are now tuning in to the Breaux Show. He is all energy, Breaux Keller.
Breaux Keller makes his return to VCW. I'm very familiar with Breaux Keller. We have only scratched the surface. It's been the tip of the iceberg of what Breaux Keller is capable of that we have seen so far here in VCW. And this is a match that has all the potential in the world to light Old Dominion University on fire.
This is going to be a barn burner. Little bit of a contrast of styles. You've got a high energy young man there.
Not just high energy, all energy, made up of energy.
Well, that's what caffeine does for you. But
Breaux Keller is all natural when it comes to his enthusiasm.
I like what Logan is doing, though. While Keller is expending energy in the ring doing his little dance, Logan is conserving energy. He's kicking back, letting him have his little moment. But when that bell rings, it'll be a different story.
For lots of competitors, that might be the case. They may be spending their battery early and unnecessary. Not true for Breaux Keller. He is a perpetual motion machine. He is a cardio monster, a former track and field star with the most impressive vertical leap I have ever seen in professional wrestling.
We'll see if that vertical leap does him any good here tonight.
Breaux Keller has range, he's got height, he's got leap, he's got ability, but what Logan Easton Laroux brings to professional wrestling is the mind of a tactician.
Absolutely. And Logan's been in the ring with some of the best in the world, and he has shined when he's been given the opportunity.
You may have heard the phrase ring general, and sometimes just means someone with experience, someone who has knowledge, but Logan takes that phrase to a different level. He has strategy. He is thinking 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of his opponent. He is already right now mentally in the middle of the match. He has got the mind-body awareness to be there up here and be physically present where it counts.
You better believe it. He's a smart man. Not letting the crowd get to him, where sometimes Papadon can get a little riled up by the crowd. Logan can care less what the fans say.
These two have known each other very well over the years, longtime rivals, not here at VCW, but across the DMV and the Capital region. Logan Easton Laroux often coming out on top, especially here in VCW. The fortunes of these two men have been very different as Breaux Keller is still trying to establish himself here on the roster, and Logan Easton Laroux, a former Virginia heavyweight champion and undoubtedly one of the, if not the top star in the entire territory.
You're definitely spot on about his athletic ability. That vertical leap was impressive.
We've seen Logan go up against Christopher Daniels,
absolutely,
Jay Lethal. He is a go-to opponent for some of the best and the brightest on the world stage here at VCW. Breaux Keller is very aware of that fact.
Oh, absolutely. Logan has a wonderful mind for the business. I loved how he got out of there and cut off the momentum of the match. That's a smart move by a veteran wrestler.
Immediately going to the gut of Breaux Keller, trying to force all the oxygen out of Breaux. If you can't breathe, you're very incapable of doing the incredible feats that Breaux is capable of. But Breaux immediately getting a 1 count on Logan. Up and over.
A little overzealous there on the charge, but only a 2 count.
And in the first few moments of this match, Logan Easton Laroux has been in jeopardy 3 times already.
Indeed he has. smart man, though. He's got to cut off the momentum. I don't think he was expecting this kind of an onslaught this early on.
There's a real question about whether Logan is the same man after losing Virginia Heavyweight Championship. Since losing that belt to Boar, he fell prey to Christopher Daniels. There's no shame in that. Daniels, a Hall of Famer, a current All Elite Wrestling and Ring of Honor star. If you have one bad night, that's a bad night. Lose 2 in a row, that's a streak.
It certainly affects your psyche when you've been a champion for so long and you don't have that hardware around your waist. But Logan's going to bounce back strong. I believe in him.
Just knocking the teeth of Breaux Keller. No one has the precision striking ability of Logan Easton Laroux.
He has learned a lot from his battles with Christopher Daniels, Jay Lethal, and so many others. You just see him getting better and better every time out.
Breaux Keller understands the opportunity here to be in the ring. One of the top stars of VCW, showing that flash, the joy that Breaux Keller has in the wrestling ring is infectious. Ooh, ooh, nasty landing for Breaux Keller and Logan Easton Laroux both.
Like Logan got the worst of that exchange.
That drive-by knee has rocked our former heavyweight champion, and Logan looks punch drunk.
Oh, good
You
height.
wondered if that incredible vertical leap was going to play a factor. It almost made all the difference in the world. Only 2, but just by a half an inch.
I thought it was going to take him 20 minutes to come down. That was amazing. Got to give props to him.
Such an incredible athlete. You can say that about both these men. The stinger splash to the corner, and if one was good, 2. Oh, twice as good.
Oh, whoops.
Gnarly landing.
Some could argue that might call for a disqualification, but I'd like to think that was just an accident.
Our referee clearly feels that Breaux Keller landed on his inner thigh rather than his groin specifically, and Logan
Let that
Easton
go.
Laroux.
I think that was the right call.
You see Logan doesn't hesitate for a moment, immediately fiercely pounding Breaux Keller, not letting frustration get to him.
Logan can mix it up just as well as he can be a technical superstar as well. That's exactly what you need to be on top in VCW and all over the world. Got to have that aggressiveness.
Choking Breaux Keller on the ropes, taking a moment to plan his next attack. There is no wasted motion or movement by Logan Easton Laroux. This is the first event we have had in several months where Logan Easton Laroux is not in the main event. I don't think that fact is lost on him. There's a frustration to Logan for no matter how good Breaux Keller is, no matter how good Logan Easton Laroux is, falling down the card having lost that belt. That is something that means a lot to a professional wrestler. Breaux Keller's athleticism is phenomenal, right into a pinning predicament.
Oh, almost took out the ref in the process.
Drop kick by Logan. We've seen him throw super kicks, but a drop kick, he is bringing new things to his arsenal here.
Getting back to your point, yes, the person's position on the card does make a difference. It affects you. It affects you financially, and it affects you mentally. So good point there.
Logan is very money motivated. He wants to be in a position where he is maximizing his earning potential. Do that by stacking up wins. Do that by getting another title shot. There's no guaranteed rematch clause here in VCW. Logan lost that belt. He lost a lot of money. Breaux Keller making the most of his moment.
And he nearly lost his lunch. Holy cow.
Sensational offense by Jockzilla. Both these men are in such tremendous shape.
Zilla needs to stay on him. He needs to, don't let him catch his breath.
Breaux Keller's offense It requires distance to get going. He relies on so much momentum, as we see there. Literally tossed Logan Easton Laroux up and over with that backstabber.
He hooked the leg, but he didn't have the full extension of his body weight on top of Logan. That may have made the difference right there between victory and continuing this match.
Keller looking for that bro job. But Logan Easton Laroux had it scouted up and through. Drop kick.
Done.
It takes such precision to land deftly in between those ropes, moving at that speed. Missile drop kick right in the center of the ring. Keller out at 2.
See what I mean there? Logan had him hooked tight. He had both legs good snug covered. This young man still has more in the tank. So Logan needs to stay on top of him. Don't let him breathe. Good job there, Logan.
Going back to Bot. Side steps, and that we've super kicked.
Ooh,
this
baby.
is one championships. This is one championships, and no!
Oh! Can't believe he kicked out.
Somehow, some way, Keller still has fight in him. Now looking for that gentrification cutter. Keller, gutter butter! Gutter butter!
Could it be?
We saw him go for this earlier. Bro job to Logan Easton Laroux.
Oh, my goodness. Keller did it.
And the bro job does the job. Keller just upset the former Virginia heavyweight champion.
Wow.
Logan.
Gotta give him credit. Gotta give him credit. That is a huge win. That's the biggest win of his career here in VCW.
By far, hands down. This is a crowning moment for Keller, but what does it say about Logan Easton Laroux? For 2 months, we have lived in a world where Boar is war. The Virginia heavyweight champion defeated Logan. someone who was caught up with the Sharky Tank. So there is continuity here on both sides. There is champions on both sides. There's been a new crowning of the guard here in VCW with the U.S. Liberty Championship and the Virginia Heavyweight Championship, both changing hands recently, and now there's so many people jockeying for positions, jockeying for spots. And these 6 men represent some of the best that Virginia Championship Wrestling has to offer in the ring right now. The veteran, Dirty Money with the pink mohawk, very distinctive. A legend here in VCW, has held really every belt, every accolade that is possible to hold in the state of Virginia. He'll be going up against one of the newest members of the roster, the Spice, Saul Esparza, a total goon. And the chance ring out for Dirty Money, who has made his name in this area. He is a veteran. He has been in the ring for over 20 years, and you wouldn't know it. You would not know it by looking at him, because look how good he looks. He is a man that defies the aging process. And it's not just in physical presentation. His skill set has grown and deepened and evolved over time. His body has maintained the athletic conditioning necessary to be an elite performer in the world of professional wrestling. But if you want to talk about elite performers, we have to talk about the man who just tagged into this match, Brandon Scott. Mr. Excellence says that he is the preeminent competitor, and now the Boar looking to get his hands on Brandon Scott from the get-go. We are going to see these two go against each other tonight. But let's get a preview. Let's get a trailer. We're a society that enjoys to know a little bit about what is coming before we pay for it. Now we're going to get a chance right now as these two about to touch. We're going to see a test of strength. Brandon Scott may be debating whether or not a test of strength with someone the size of the Boar. All of these men, sizable competitors, but none of them quite stack up to the big Boar. And he just slapped the mask of the Boar right in that snout and hides in basically base. If we were playing tag, Brandon Scott just ran as fast as he could to base and got the teacher to intervene in our official. It is illegal to attack someone if they are in the ropes. That is the out-of-bounds zone. And Brandon Scott certainly majored in recess. He knows how to get to base very quickly. And as we first expected, it looks like Saul Esparza really will be the one to start this match. Saul Boar swiping wildly at Brandon Scott, just desperate to get his hands on a man who put his hands on Boar's property. Boar spent the better part of 2 years rising up the rankings here in VCW, trying and succeeding to become the Virginia Heavyweight Champion. If he could take his frustrations out on someone like Saul Esparza, he will. Saul has no fear, maybe no sense, but certainly no fear attempting to shoulder tackle the Boar. The fact that Saul Esparza even budged the Boar should be considered a huge win for this young man. It might be the only win he gets in this moment as he is being mowed down. It's like a human being versus a freight train. Holding Saul Esparza in his hands, he makes the tag to the Heaven-Sent Kid. Why is he called the Heaven-Sent Kid? Look at him fly down from the skies, landing right across the midsection of Saul Esparza. And Esparza's resilience is on display. He was able to kick out despite losing all the oxygen. Who knows what else that was in his gut? Alex Divine looking to maintain control, but instead Esparza rotates him up. But Alex Divine does not quit. When he has something in his sight, he works hard to get it. Defying gravity, grabbing onto Esparza, and Brandon Scott, the de facto team leader here in this battle. The captain could not let that happen. So much momentum is on the line. 3 separate rivalries all coming together in this one match for bragging rights, for extra money, for potential title opportunities. If Dirty Money were to pin Devantes, would he be up for a rematch? Oh, Lord! The spine buster to Alex Divine. I just watched a man's soul leave his body. It was brief. It jumped back in, but goodness gracious. Alex Divine just had an everything out of body experience. May have been the most painful moment of his life. And finally, Brandon Scott decides now is the time to enter the match for real. While Boar is on the outside, while Boar is far away, a world's distance away, it may as well be from that rope. That is when Brandon Scott decides, hey, time to play. Time to show off my skills and strategies. Must be a really good time to make cleanup after Devantes is at bat. Neil Sharkey, the manager of champions, coaching from the outside. So much experience that Neil Sharkey brings to the table as he has found a new protege. Saul Esparza chopping the chest of Alex Divine. Saul Esparza is only 22 years old, and he is already this good. Look at that cover, really reaching, putting as much pressure as he can across the chest. No showboating, maintaining control of Alex Divine. Alex Divine, one of the most gifted high flyers on the scene, certainly here in VCW. But he gives up size to a lot of opponents, including Saul Esparza, who is built thick, has base and power, and that is that spice that Saul likes to be known for. Taking a brief moment to antagonize not only our eyes, but the fans, his opponents, and then the Haas of all Haas's, Devantes, baiting the Boar in the ring, and we are seeing champion versus champion. The Boar is chomping at the bit, and it is providing an opportunity for the Sharky tank to circle like sharks in the water. They have smelled blood. The Boar, realizing he has unintentionally left his partner to the wolves of the ocean. Those would be sharks in this case. And will need to control himself and his temper to be an effective leader. Alex Divine going up and over, left and right, and everywhere in between. And Devantes could not keep up. If you give Devantes the opportunity, his power will put you down. But how can he pay attention? It's like a human pinball just circling all around. And Alex Divine crawling over, making his way to Dirty Money, and these two longtime rivals, Dirty Money and Brandon Scott, two of the foundations of Virginia Championship Wrestling. Almost countless title reigns between the two. Years of experience, and Dirty Money dropping the dime. Kicks to the head, kicks to the back, following it up, Blue Thunder Bomb, and Brandon Scott may be about to suffer a loss right before his title opportunity. Saul Esparza earning his keep tonight, playing goaltender effectively, doing a great job playing defense, and Boar just slammed Saul Esparza into the gate. That barricade is strong enough to keep our fans from entering the ring. It is not meant for competitors to be introduced to in that way. Esparza is hurt. Team Brandon Scott is at a significant deficit at this point. And Dirty Money calling for us to be quiet. And playing Brandon Scott like a drum. Most valuable player for the Sharky Tank right now has to be Saul Esparza, who has been on Alex Divine and Dirty Money at every moment, and the Boar single-mindedly focused on Brandon Scott. Boar hit the turnbuckle pad so hard it knocked it off. Those things are tied with knots only Boy Scouts learn. And Boar whacked it out of position with a casual slap. There is a reason the Boar chose that animal to be his symbol, to be what he gives to the world, and it's because he has that proportionate strength. He has that proportionate tenacity. The Boar can be a wild animal, and Dirty Money now the victim of the same kind of chops he was throwing so casually earlier. Brandon Scott. The world of professional wrestling can change in an instant, and the fortunes of Dirty Money are the latest in those winds and change. Most amount of impact for least amount of offense goes to Devantes, the Haas of all Haas's. Every single strike counts 3-4 times a normal opponent. Saul Esparza has been exceptional on offense, and now Devantes taking the temperature of Dirty Money. Calling in his newest associate, the Spice. And fantastic strategy by Saul Esparza, knocking Alex Divine off of the apron, leaving it so that even if Dirty Money was able to turn the tables, there's no one there to take the call, and Saul Esparza is about to win this match right in front of Boar. Boar is unfocused, emotional. It is a skill set to lead. It is a skill set to be a captain. It is one the Boar must develop if he is going to lead troops into battle, because Neil Sharkey has that skill set. Neil Sharkey is organizing, he is quarterbacking plays on the outside. He's not quarterbacking, the quarterback plays, but he is coaching the quarterback, in this case, Brandon Scott. Almost taunting the Boar. Very specifically, Brandon Scott has positioned Dirty Money in direct eye line of sight to the Boar. As Dirty Money pleads, as Dirty Money begs to get that tag, Boar helpless to watch. And to think, is that me later tonight? Is this what happens when Brandon Scott and Boar meet this evening in primetime pandemonium? A neck breaker to Brandon Scott may have cut off that momentum, but can Dirty Money recover in time to get to his partners? And if he happens to tag in Alex Divine, Divine literally just met Steel, courtesy of Saul Esparza just moments ago. Is Divine at all close to 100% either? Brandon Scott, desperate not to find out, and finally, the Boar is in, and Brandon tags out yet again. And this Boar is out of control. This hog has gone feral in this ring. If you wondered in a battle of land versus sea, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, what's gonna win? Between a hog and a shark right now, it's certainly looking to lend itself to the boar. What goes up must come down. And when it is men as big and as thick as Boar and Devantes, when it goes down hard. And Saul Esparza just knocked down the Virginia champion. Saul Esparza is proving to be a first-round draft pick tonight. The angle of that drop kick. Literally plunging down from the sky in the cutter. Brandon Scott with the cutter to Alex Devine. Money clip. And here we see the Haas of Haas with the TKO. Everyone is unloading their best shots. Everyone wants to be the one to end this match. And if Devantes were to pin the Boar, whoever wins tonight between Boar and Brandon Scott, when we see a consolidation of those two titles. And the gore hits directly. Devantes rolling out of the ring. And Brandon Scott's in danger. Neil Sharkey's reading the tea leaves. See, there's a problem. Just slapped Sharkey. Brandon Scott's feet are on the ropes. Is this a preview? Is this a preview of tonight at primetime pandemonium? The Boar just was pinned by his opponent for this evening. Not only did Boar barely, if ever, get his hands on Brandon Scott, he was bested by the man. Alex Devine on the outside being stopped by Saul Esparza. And Boar more concerned with going after Brandon Scott than his teammate and his partner. Brandon Scott has successfully gotten so far in the head of the Boar that I think Brandon Scott has an exceptional opportunity to become the champion tonight. All of the momentum is in the favor of Brandon Scott going into a title match.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your main event. And it is being refereed by Chioda. Your following contest is a tag team match, and it is for the VCW Tag Team Championships. Furthermore, if the Golden Pinky Society win their match, Benjamin Banks will get a one-on-one match with the Director of Operations, Jerry Devantes, at Papadon, Chioda. Introducing first, the challengers, being accompanied to the ring by the VCW Director of Operations, Jerry Devantes, at a combined weight of 616 pounds. 99 overall, Myles Hawkins, and 50 on the line
It is main event time here with VCW and Matinee Mayhem. I'm your host, Jason Heat, and the Tag Team Championships and more on the line in this match. Jerry Devantes, our Director of Operations, has been a thorn in the side of the Golden Pinky Society for a long time. He tried to get in the head of the Diamond Victor. He's been assaulting verbally and through proxies physically the Golden Pinky Society at every turn. And now he has brought in these hired guns, Adonis Cole, Big AC, and the 99 overall Myles Hawkins, not only to try and take those tag team titles, but out of self-defense. Because if the Golden Pinky Society win this match, not only do they retain the titles, but Benjamin Banks gets 5 minutes alone this evening with Jerry Stefanitsis. The Golden Pinky Society. To find young, impressionable wrestlers willing to do his dirty work for him. And he has found his 2 stars, his top potential in the 99 overall Myles Hawkins and Big AC Adonis Cole. He's put a lot of stock in these 2 young men. We are about to see whether that is warranted, because Jerry Stefanitsis hasn't just invested time. That was... Immediately Myles Hawkins runs to the rope after rubbing the head of Diamond Victor Griff. He knew, he just had a sense that he was gonna get smacked for that. Myles Hawkins is a gifted athlete with all of the potential in the world. And he is fearless when he has someone like Big AC backing him up. And now Benjamin Banks tagging in. Double team offense. And Myles Hawkins quickly tagging out. This goes back to the earlier point that Jerry Stefanitsis has invested more than money and more than time. He is betting on these 2 young men. He is betting that they can protect him and keep him safe, because if the Golden Pinky Society wins, it's not just that they retain their titles, but later tonight at primetime pandemonium here at Ultimate University, Benjamin Banks will get 5 minutes alone with Jerry Stefanitsis. And after a year plus of torment and torture at the hands of the Director of Operations, the mind goes crazy with exactly what Benjamin Banks could do to Jerry Stefanitsis. Of course, for a main event match like this, so much at stake, so many egos at play, and with the Director of Operations involved. Well, Benjamin Banks is trying to lift Adonis Cole. Benjamin Banks so used to being able to lift almost anyone. He did it without thinking and paid the price. Benjamin Banks is north of 260 pounds, and Adonis Cole lifted him with ease. Death from above is avoided as Banks rolls out the way, and Myles Hawkins back in. We have brought in a legend to referee this match. That is Mike Chioda in the ring. A legendary referee that the board of directors hired because there is so much at stake, because there are so many implications of power with our director of operations being here front and center. Our commissioner, George Pantis, along with the board, made sure that Mike Chioda would be impartial and fair. There would not be a conflict of interest here in this tag team match. Big AC just knocked Victor Griff into the next county mentally. Lights are on, no one's home, and the referee may have a responsibility to end this match 1 foot, 1 foot. Usually you'd say, hey, maybe that's just disrespect. Maybe that's unwise. There is so much power in the legs and the base of Adonis Cole, and that's a perfectly valid cover. That is so much pressure. It's like a boulder being placed on the chest of Diamond Victor Griff, who is now being choked. And Adonis Cole, now it's Jerry Stefanesis in there. Jerry Stefanesis just put his hands on Diamond Victor Griff. A 2 count only. Myles Hawkins and Big AC, training partners, came up in professional wrestling together. So not only are they a tag team, but they learned, they trained together, they came up with this business together. That is a hard experience. That is bonding, that is going through the trenches with each other. They know each other so well. And I am somehow potentially being joined at the commentary desk by Neil Sharkey. Big AC, ow! Yeah.
That hurts.
Just took a smack to the face from the Virginia heavyweight champion. How do you feel, sir?
Being the professional I am, I should be at the emergency room right now, but I'm here at my post doing my job.
I wish you were at the emergency room. Just for you.
Well, there's some cute nurses there.
And Diamond Victor Griff caught in the corner as Jerry Stefanesis has truly picked a fantastic duo to do his dirty work tonight.
I think I'm deaf in my left ear now. That from Boar. Boar should be arrested. Where are the authorities?
Myles Hawkins about to put away Diamond Victor Griff. So much on the line in this match, Neil. If Jerry Stefanesis didn't do this right, if he didn't pick his challengers correctly, he is going to face 5 minutes later tonight in the ring with Victor Griff. You had 1 second with the board, and now Jerry Stefanesis is trying to choke the life out of Victor Griff. Why is he so obsessed?
Victor Griff tried to attack Jerry. He's done it on multiple occasions. He's just trying to defend himself.
You've known Jerry Stefanesis for years. Maybe you can shed some insight into this. What is it? Why is Jerry Stefanesis so obsessed with the Golden Pinky Society?
Jerry is a man that asks for and demands respect, and he has got nothing but disrespect from the Golden Pinky Society ever since
Big AC.
Ever since Benjamin Banks deserted him several years ago, left him high and dry. He hasn't forgot that. You never cross the boss.
A cover by AC is the equivalent of being covered by 3 men. 3 Myles Hawkins to 1 AC when it comes to just a lateral press. It's so much work just to kick out of a Big AC cover.
Jerry did his homework. You know he did his research. He was looking for the 2 men that would match up to the Pinkies the best, and he has done just that.
They complement each other so well, but Victor Griff and Benjamin Banks have 2 things almost no other team in VCW have. First off, the length of their relationship. Second, the level of heart that they bring, and they are able to turn this thing around. But it's more than titles on the line. Banks, what do you think Banks cares more about? The title or getting the, oh, he did it!
Oh!
He lifted up AC!
I can't believe what I just saw. Holy moly.
Well, if strength isn't going to do it, then Myles Hawkins from the air. No! Whoa, Mike Chioda's attention was
Beautiful.
distracted. Yes!
What? No, 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 no!
Mike
What are you
Chioda
doing,
just caught the
Chioda?
director.
Chioda, you should have been counting 3. No!
That is
What
the
are you doing?
reason that Mike Chioda was chosen
He has
by the commissioner, by the board of directors. There will be no bias. There will be no conflict of interest.
He has a vested interest in this matchup. You can't throw him out.
He has too much of a vested interest, and Mike Chioda has all of the authority in this match. Benjamin
Oh, no,
Banks is going to get his hands on Jerry
No.
Stephanesis later.
Do you know what he would do to poor Jerry?
I'm gonna
Jerry's
find
not
out.
a wrestler.
I'm
No,
gonna
you're not.
find out tonight.
No, we can't let this happen.
We're going to find out together. All it's
This
going to
is
take
totally unfair.
is for the Golden Pinky Society to win this match.
Come on,
Modified
big
version
man,
of
you gotta
the
be there.
Tuesday
Yeah.
device.
No! 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 Are you kidding me? Call a doctor. Jerry. Has anybody told Jerry yet? Somebody's gonna get back there and help Jerry.
I think he's halfway
he's
to
probably
Rio de Janeiro
unconsolable
at
right
this
now.
point. Not only did the Golden Pinky Society retain their titles, but later tonight,
This is terrible.
they are going to get their hands on Jerry Stephanesis, a man who has been, I mean, he's done so much to them, Neil. He has attacked them. He's caused Diamond Victor Griff to question himself, almost caused the breakup of the team. He kept the tag team titles away from him. He's brought hired guns in to fight them.
I
Mind,
think
body, and soul.
Jerry needs to get an injunction immediately. We need to stop this match from happening.
It was the moment that Mike Chioda saw Jerry Stephanesis interfering one too many times
He
that
thought he
turned the
saw
tide.
that. He saw nothing. This is ridiculous.
The Golden Pinky Society retain, and we are gonna see the impossible. We're gonna see Jerry Stephanesis get
gonna be sick.
his
This is
comeuppance.
horrible.
For Neil Sharkey, I am Jason Heat.
We need a lawyer.
This was our matinee. This was our matinee mayhem for VCW.
555 Sharky, we need an injunction immediately.